So here we have kind of an ugly operation, and I didn't think much about it. You can't get your power head in there to saw it, so I had to kind of cut it from the back. But we're looking at the wood on the uphill side and we're pulling slivers, which is nice, but we're looking at the wood on the downhill side and it's kind of ugly. So this tree hooked way out, property line's right there, denoted by the pink. Staking, pink flagging, whatever. It's kind of a turd of a tree, but it's important to note the bark seam. So I could see something was going on this side right here, but it's hard to tell. Redwood's really weird the way it grows, kind of like a weed, I guess, but we got solid hinge here, but over on this side, right in the hinge itself, it's bark. So we didn't have a whole lot of holding wood except on this outside corner. And I thought that was pretty interesting. There's actually a bark seam right there as well, but it doesn't have any evidence outside here that there's something going on. So the reason this is noteworthy is I fell a 6-foot old growth one time down in southern Humboldt, and they were really nice tall trees actually, and it had to be lobbed up the hill. It was a little steeper than this, same kind of a concept though. The ground kind of broke away, similar to what we see here. It was a little steeper down over the bank, and there was a haul road down underneath there, and I needed to get it up high for the guy to get it out. And what I didn't know at the time was there was a bark seam similar to this situation here that was completely encapsulated in the hinge. So if you imagine a 6-foot diameter stump, about 1.5 feet in, there was a bark seam. And so I had maybe 3-4 inches of holding wood across the hinge, and I couldn't tell from the face that there was any kind of problem with the hinge, and I couldn't tell from the back cut, like, you know, the cut, watching, you know, the sawdust coming out. Essentially you're watching to see what color you have, watching in when you're sawing in the face to see if it changes color. That denotes rot a lot of times. Sometimes you can pick up on the bark seams, but anyway, so as the tree starts to go, it gets about right here and it goes pop, and it drifts off about 3-4 feet immediately, and then I watch it kind of go out there and not really hit where it needed to. So I thought that this would be a good thing to look at, because cutting on the Northern California coast, you end up with all kinds of interesting things that you don't find anywhere else. So he was able to get that tree out of there. It missed the shot by about 20 feet or so, maybe 30. I don't remember. That was a long time ago, 10-12 years ago anyway. So, but he managed to get it yarded out of there. But it's just one of those things that I thought maybe I would share, because until you've actually cut some of this stuff and you'd had to been in a lot of different locations, this wood here is super tough on the stump. We've been kind of in here for a while. We've been looking at some trees, pulling a lot of slivers. That's not normal for redwood, and not even close. And so you kind of have to cut around a little bit in here. You kind of have to get around technically, and cut in a lot of different areas to get a real handle on how this wood behaves. And you're constantly fiddling with your grind, I guess, figuring it out, fiddling, whatever. I've changed my grind almost every day, just tweaking a little bit here and a little bit there. Finally got her dialed in pretty good at this point. So anyway, thanks for watching. Just kind of a little bit of, I don't know, situational, localized situational nuance that we're dealing with over here on the left coast. So thanks for watching this session. Have a blessed day wherever you might be on God's green earth.